welcome into episode 4 of the Hoggin The Mic podcast, hosted by myself, Will Colassa. I don't have a guest with me this week, but I wanted to take this opportunity just to kind of explain where I want to take the next couple weeks of this podcast and just what you can expect to see going forward. So what I want to do is I want to talk to people who have made an impact on my life, and ultimately I want to figure out why that is and how that impact has been so strong. I want to talk to them about their upbringing and kind of their earlier parts of their life and figure out, what their life experiences are and how the lessons that they've learned have shaped them as a person today, and then extract that knowledge to hopefully be able to impact people in the same way that they've impacted me. So I think this is important because I don't see that kind of knowledge being shared much in my life or in the lives of the people around me. And so I think what that does is it forces people to try to find other ways to just to live a happier life or a more fulfilling life. And I think that ends up people make decisions that may help them feel better in the present, but are not a good decision going forward. 1 year, 4 years, 8 years, 20 years in the future. So I think that if I can highlight the experiences and the life lessons of the people that have impacted me, and I can share those to other people, then that will help those people as well who listen to it, and they can help. That will help them make better decisions and better choices going forward as well. So I thought it would be appropriate at least to explain kind of the few life lessons that I've learned in my short 20 years of living so far. So the first thing that I came to understand came through having cystic fibrosis, which is a genetic disorder. And so what I had to learn was that the experiences that I had were always going to be at least somewhat different than anyone else. I had to understand how to make the best out of any circumstance, even when I can't control everything that goes around that. So, like personally, I may have some physical limitations, but that doesn't necessarily stop me from being able to learn anything else, something that anyone else can learn, or anything like that. So really, just finding joy in like the smaller things and not getting concerned or not letting the things that I know that I can't do bring me down, I guess. So that was kind of the first life lesson that I feel like I came to understand myself. Another thing that has really affected me has been my faith. And I think having a faith in God has been really important, at least for me in the last maybe 3 or 4 years, because it's made me realize that there's always something that I can work towards. I often hear about, people who are successful, and then after they become successful, they feel empty or um, unsatisfied now or in the present after uh, after they've earned what they were working towards. That was another thing that I I found really fascinating was it always feels like people say that uh, climbing the hill is really what's more fulfilling than getting to the top. Being once you've achieved something, there's nothing more to go after, and I found that really. At first, I was very confused by it. I thought it was odd that this not necessarily the struggle, but the hardships that coming with going to get or going toward the goal was ultimately what people found more fulfilling, I guess, than actually enjoying um, being at the top or enjoying the reward um, of getting to where they wanted to go. Um, and so I think that was something that became evident to me when I, really took another step in my faith was that, living a Christian life is something that you can always continue to go after. You can always become better at. Um, I played basketball for a long time, growing up in grade school, and then when I stopped playing, it felt like I had to start over. Like I didn't know exactly what I was gonna do. I kind of felt lost a little bit, um, and so that was one of the first times when I kind of noticed that, or I heard people saying that the climb was the real fulfilling part of any kind of aspiration. Um, Obviously, having a goal or aiming at something is very important because that's how you're going to spend your time. That's where you will put all of your mental energy, um, and so there's if you when you're lost, kind of like how I felt when I stopped playing basketball, it was like there was nothing for me to put all of that mental energy into. Um, and so, coming back once again to my faith, um, it made me realize that that was always something that I can work towards. It's a constant uphill climb, and so I never feel lost anymore. Um, and so I think that was another one of the major life lessons that I feel like I've learned recently. Um, the last major life lesson I feel like that I've come to learn is well, it comes. I think I learned this because I have a very big extended family. My mom has a lot of siblings, and so um, I've always been surrounded. I'm one of the out of like 25 or 26 cousins now that I have. I've always been like right in the middle, and so growing up, I always had pretty much like built-in friends. I guess I didn't really have to make any friends because I was always just around family. And um, when my family moved down to the Dallas area from Chicago, where I'm originally from, I lost a lot of those immediate like built-in friends and my cousins. And at first, I remember going to school in second grade, and like that I made friends fairly quickly in second grade, but I remember like missing a lot of the family outings, or like cookouts and stuff like that. Um, and I think that happened again when I left high school, because in high school I found another really really big group of friends I really enjoyed hanging out with, and made some of my favorite memories with. And then I moved on to college, where I lost the majority of those friends. Not lost them, but I stopped seeing them and stopped hanging out with them on a daily basis. And that was kind of the second time when I realized that the friendships and the connections that you make they're very important. And I have, I still am very very good friends with all of those people, and obviously my family as well. But the I after I left um, both of those instances, I, I I felt, I don't want to say lost again, but um, alone, I guess, to an extent. Not completely alone, but because I always had some people around. Um, but I feel like I really lost a lot of the uh, relationships, or the strength of them as well. Um, and so that was kind of major um, the last major life lesson that I feel like I've learned, is that you can't you should always remember the times that you spent with people and the positive memories that you made. But once those are gone, or once you move past those, it's important to continue looking forward to making those with new people, or um, just not spending the majority of your time and energy into missing those previous times. But um, and like I said, I don't think that you should ever forget them, because I think that's important to just how you grow. And I don't know, it they're still important to remember because they hold weight. And if you completely forget about the things that make you, that made you happy, I don't know. I've never really thought about that entirely. Um, but I think it's still important to remember those times, but you can't spend the majority of your energy missing that. I think you miss out on possible opportunities when you are spending your time doing that. So, yeah, that was another life lesson that I feel like I've learned fairly recently as well. So, I hope, I hope to continue to learn lessons like that through the conversations I'll have in the coming weeks. Um, so, yeah, that's kind of what you can expect to see going forward. And yeah, I hope that you have a great day. Adios.